Back a couple of seasons ago, there was a big misconception going around in the NBA that the big man era is dead. But with the migration of unicorns from Europe and once extinct centers like Jonas Valanciunas, Brook Lopez, and the 70-year-old Al Horford finding ways to resurrect their dwindling careers by learning how to shoot the three ball, as well as developing their rusting arsenal and upgrading their skill set, the big man is dead narrative is nothing more than just a myth, especially in today's NBA, where pace and space rule. Which is why I have to bring up this guy. There are few Asian players that have the combination of talent and skill to compete in the NBA. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you that Kai Sotto is built different. And with his big performances recently in Japan, is it enough for this 22-year-old kid to grab the global spotlight and be the next Victor Wembanyama the moment he steps foot in the NBA? Well, in today's video, I'll be digging deeper on this and talk about what are the realistic chances of Kai Sotto playing in the NBA, and possibly even joining a team that's in dire need of a big man like the Golden State Warriors. Now, before he took his act to the land of the rising sun, Kai Sotto was one time a part of the G League Ignite team, the same team that's filled with untapped prospects that launched the careers of Jalen Green and Jonathan Kuminga all the way to the stratosphere. But just as things were about to kick up for Kai, the COVID pandemic struck the world, and along with the lack of playing time, this string of unfortunate events has impeded his NBA dream for the time being, which forced him to go back to the Philippines and suit up for the national team instead. Despite this temporary setback, Kai didn't give up that easily and took another shot at his NBA dream when he became part of the Orlando Magic roster during the 2023 Summer League. As expected, Kai didn't receive enough playing minutes to showcase his full bag, but when he did get the opportunity, he delivered the goods and showed the scouts that he's worth paying attention to.
Even in Summer League, you find the fan favorites. Another one! The rim. And Sotto, another chance and a thunderous jam!
Well, speaking of scouts, Kai caught the eye of veteran NBA assistant coach Phil Handy. Now, Phil Handy is not just any ordinary coach. This is a champion coach who has won 3 titles with teams like the Cavs, Raptors, and the Lakers. And when he was asked about Kai's chances about getting into the NBA, here's his honest take about it. Sometimes players' opportunities come at different times. I believe he's very talented. I don't believe in putting timelines on athletes. I've had a chance to see him play for a couple of years. He's naturally gifted. Getting praised by a champion coach certainly speaks volumes about his crazy potential, but the mental toll influenced by the lack of playing minutes in the Summer League has once again forced Kai to get back to the drawing board and reassess his path going to the big leagues. On the surface, the next big thing from the Philippines has all the tools to become the next great big man in the NBA. I mean, this kid is as big as it gets, towering around 7'3" to 7'4", making Victor Wembanyama his long-lost brother. However, while the fact that he makes everyone else around him look like a middle schooler due to his insane height is true, his critics are still ripping him to shreds because he's too thin for his size and doesn't have enough strength to bang around against physically intimidating bigs. Let's face it, facing the premier unicorns of the league like Jokic, Giannis, and Embiid on a nightly basis is no joke by any means, and would definitely take a toll physically on Kai should he enter the NBA. Anyway, during his time in the NBL, which is Australia's top-tier league when it comes to hoops, Kai just averaged 6.8 points, 4.5 rebounds on a decent 51% shooting from the field. Now, sure, these numbers aren't really going to make any NBA scout jump out of their seats, but the reason behind his subpar performance in the land down under has something to do with the restriction in his minutes yet again. As you see in this stat sheet, the minutes that were given to him are not consistent, which was why his game fluctuated too, along with it. But see, if you just give him ample time to perform, this kid will surely deliver on both ends, as he can give you double-digit scoring while filling up the stat sheets with a bunch of rebounds and blocks. I mean, I totally get the fact that coaches would usually bench the younger guys in favor of their battle-tested veterans. A perfect example of this is the case of his former G League stablemate, Jonathan Kuminga. As we all know, the Dubs only spared him droplets of minutes in his first 3 seasons in the NBA, averaging just below 18.8 minutes to be exact. However, things changed for him this season as the Dubs finally let him roam in the wild, and along with that, we saw a huge boost in his minutes, averaging above 25 minutes an outing, and due to this, it has allowed Kuminga to rack up 16.3 points, 4.8 rebounds, 2.1 assists on 52.9% shooting from the field, and 31.6% from downtown. And don't look now, JK is now second in command behind Steph in terms of the pecking order, and he's turning out to be the perfect candidate which the Dubs could build around with towards the future. Anyway, the point that I'm making here is that Kai needs some minutes to show the world what he's capable of, and if we're going to take a look at his recent performance in the B League, that's exactly what he's showing to us. I mean, every time he logged in 20 minutes or more, you can see that Kai has been producing double digits in scoring consistently along with a string of 10 or more rebounds, which effectively makes him a legit double-double threat over there in Japan. With the stuff that I just laid out, here's now where the million-dollar question comes in. Can Kai Sotto replicate his dominance in Japan to the NBA while playing under the system of the Golden State Warriors? Well, a quick answer to that is absolutely. And let me tell you guys the reason behind this. Now, the first big reason why Kai will no doubt thrive alongside Steph and his crew is that he's a team player that loves to get his teammates involved on the offensive end. If you look at the tapes, Kai doesn't always press the issue, even though it looks like he can just simply finish over his defenders whenever he's on the block doing his thing. And to me, he's the perfect guy that fits the bill of what the Dubs are looking for a big man. I mean, at his size, Kai has the vision to locate the open on the cut or on the kickout, and time again, he's shown that he can be a willing passer when the situation forces him to be. And what better way to share his playmaking skills than to be part of the most unselfish and cohesive team in the NBA today, which is the Warriors. Kai, for one, can be a hub just like what Sabonis or Jokic is doing for their respective teams. And as for the Dubs, he can be that pivot guy in their split actions, because not only can he create wide open space for his teams to shoot the rock as a screener, he's also a scoring threat that can deal damage on the roll, on the block, and on the perimeter. The Dubs never really had a scoring threat in the low post or in the paint, but with the possibility of Kai joining the team, their search would be over, because his versatility as a stretch 5 can definitely help their cause on both ends of the floor. Well, speaking of which, his defensive presence will definitely change the equation for the Dubs, because as you saw in the clips earlier, this is not some tall, lanky dude who just stands in the paint, raising his hands to bother shots like Sean Bradley. Kai has a bit of hops and really goes up there to challenge with the intention of swatting away shot attempts, and with this said, the Dubs finally have a legit rim protector who they can pit against the other tall unicorns in the NBA. As long as he keeps playing at a high level and continues to beef up until next summer, there's still a chance for Kai to make the big leap and take his talents to the premier basketball league on the planet, especially with the growing market for size and length in today's NBA. Anyway guys, what's your take on this? Do you think Kai Sotto has what it takes to be in the NBA? Be sure to let me know your thoughts on this by putting your comments below, and until then, see you on the next video.